Every day you wake up, the world begins to measure you, not by what you wish to be, but by the discipline of your thoughts. It is not the events of life that define your destiny, but the secret conversations you hold in the chambers of your own mind. A single thought repeated enough times builds the architecture of your entire life. If you doubt that, look around. Everything you see in your environment, from the chair you sit upon to the home you dwell in, was first a thought in someone's mind. The greatest power available to man is not found in weapons, machines, or even institutions, but in the private dominion of his own thinking. The tragedy is that most people allow their minds to drift, careless as a boat left unanchored, tossed and spun by every wave of circumstance. And yet, if a man does not master his thoughts will master him. That is the hook of this lesson, and it is the law of life. We become what we think about every single day. Consider the farmer. He has before him a field of rich, fertile soil. This soil does not care what he plants in it. He may plant corn, or he may plant poison. He may plant wheat, or he may plant weeds. The soil will accept whatever seed he chooses and return it multiplied. The mind is no different. Place in it the seed of faith, abundance, and courage, and in time it will yield a harvest of opportunities and victories. Place in it the seed of fear, resentment, and self-doubt, and it will yield a bitter crop of defeat and regret. The law is perfect and impartial. As you sow, so shall you reap. This is not poetry, it is not philosophy, it is fact. If one doubts it, let him observe his own life and trace the outcomes back to the dominant thoughts that created them. The trouble is that most men guard their wallets with ferocity, but leave their minds unguarded. They would never allow a thief to walk into their homes and take what they own, yet they allow gossip, fear-mongering, and the poisonous doubts of others to enter their minds freely. Imagine if you had to write every thought you think upon the walls of your room. How careful you would be about what you allowed to remain. But because thoughts are invisible, people permit them to wander unchecked. The truth is, your thoughts are your most precious possession. They shape your character, your reputation, your future. To allow the wrong ones to take root is to sabotage your own destiny before it has even begun. Let us use another image, one I have often spoken of, the captain and the ship. Your mind is the captain, your body and circumstances the vessel. Set a clear course, give firm and consistent commands, and the ship will reach its destination. Fail to command and the ship drifts aimlessly, eventually crashing against unseen rocks. A man without control of his thinking is no better than a vessel without a helm, subject to every current and storm. The winds of trouble will always blow, but the captain who holds firmly to his course cannot be defeated. So ask yourself, are you issuing orders to your ship, or are you merely a passenger hoping the sea will be kind? When we speak of mastering thoughts, we are not suggesting fantasy or idle daydreams. We are speaking of a daily discipline, the conscious selection of what ideas are permitted to live in your mind. You cannot stop a bird from flying overhead, but you can stop it from building a nest in your hair. In the same way, you cannot stop a stray thought from appearing, but you can decide whether to dwell upon it. Mastery begins with awareness. Each morning ask yourself, what will I allow my mind to dwell upon today? Will it be courage or fear, faith or doubt, creation or destruction? This is not a small question. It is the very axis upon which your life turns. Let us test the principle with a real example. A young man sets his heart upon building a business. Every day he fills his mind with thoughts of growth, of serving others, of providing value. He pictures himself succeeding, and he acts in harmony with that image. Over time, circumstances align, people are attracted to his confidence, and his vision becomes reality. Now contrast this with another young man who allows himself to think, I'll never succeed, the world is too difficult, opportunity is gone. That man finds excuses, overlooks chances, and fulfills the prophecy of his own thinking. Both had the same soil of mind, but they chose different seeds. The harvest was simply the natural result of the law. The first step to mastery is responsibility. Say to yourself, I am the master of my thoughts. This is not merely a declaration, it is the cornerstone of freedom. No one else can think for you. No one else can place ideas into your mind unless you permit it, and no one else can live with the results but you. This realization is both sobering and liberating. Sobering because it means you have no one else to blame. Liberating because it means you hold the key to change. Whatever the circumstances of today, they are the fruit of yesterday's thinking. Whatever tomorrow will be, it will be born from the thoughts you plant today. The second step is persistence. A single day of choosing right thoughts will not transform a life any more than a single workout will create strength. Mastery requires daily effort, a continual guarding of the mind's gates. Every morning declare the kind of thoughts you will allow, and every evening reflect upon whether you held true. This ritual builds discipline, and discipline builds destiny. Just as the athlete trains his body, so the wise man trains his mind. If you will do this, you will discover that life itself begins to align with your inner command. The third step is affirmation. When you discover a law of truth, you must anchor it in your mind through repetition. I urge you now to write this law upon a piece of paper and to speak it aloud as if engraving it into the deepest chambers of your being. I master my thoughts, I plant only courage and faith, and I harvest abundance every day. This is not a charm or superstition, it is a way of reprogramming the mind toward its highest potential. If you say it long enough, it becomes your dominant thought. And once it becomes dominant, it cannot help but express itself in action and result. Remember this great truth. You become what you think about. It is the oldest of laws, the simplest of laws, and yet the most ignored. Write it, speak it, live it, guard your mind as a fortress. Do not allow the weeds of doubt and fear to grow where only courage and abundance should stand. Make this your daily work and the harvest will astonish you. The mind has a strange and wonderful quality. It does not tire of repetition. In fact, it thrives on it. What you repeat to yourself, it will believe, and what it believes, it will make real. This is why a lie told often enough begins to seem true, and why fear rehearsed daily becomes paralyzing. But the opposite is also true. Repeat strength and you become strong. Repeat abundance, and you begin to see opportunities where once you saw none. Repeat courage, and the shadow of fear begins to retreat. Mastery is not a single act, it is a continuous drilling of truth until it becomes the rhythm of your very heartbeat. The man who understands this law can remake his life in any image he chooses, for he has found the lever by which destiny itself may be moved. Think of the sculptor with a block of marble. To the untrained eye, it looks like nothing more than stone. But in the mind of the sculptor lives an image of beauty, form, and symmetry. Every strike of the chisel is guided by that mental picture. Slowly, the rough edges fall away, and the vision becomes reality. Your thoughts are the sculptor, and your life is the marble. The image you hold is the destiny you shape. If you hold in your mind confusion and failure, you will carve a broken statue. If you hold strength and greatness, you will release from the stone a masterpiece. The chisel is in your hand every single day. The only question is, what image do you serve? Let us not underestimate the power of a single thought. History records men and women who carried one dominant idea and changed the world with it. The Wright brothers thought of flight, and the skies were conquered. Edison thought of light, and the darkness was banished. Every invention, every revolution, every triumph of humanity began with a solitary thought planted in the mind of one individual. If such is the case for the world, how much more so for your own life? A single great thought, if carried faithfully, can transform your existence. The danger is that most people fill their minds with hundreds of trivial thoughts and never allow one to take root deeply enough to bear fruit. Scatter too many seeds on the ground and none grow strong. Plant one seed with care, and it becomes a tree that gives shelter and fruit for generations. The law works whether you are conscious of it or not. If you do not take charge of your thinking, life will plant weeds for you. Newspapers will fill your mind with fear, neighbors will fill it with gossip, weak men will fill it with complaint. And soon, without realizing it, your field will be overrun with ideas that produce nothing but anxiety and failure. The mind, like the soil, demands cultivation. It cannot be left barren, nor can it remain neutral. It will either grow what you choose or what others throw into it. Ask yourself, who is planting in your mind today? Are you the farmer, or are you merely a tenant in your own land? There is a reason the ancients spoke so often of guarding the gates of the mind. They knew that thought precedes action, and action precedes destiny. A thief may steal your goods, a fire may consume your home, a storm may wash away your crops, but no force on earth can touch the treasure stored in a disciplined mind. Once you grasp this, you realize that you carry within you a fortress stronger than any wall, richer than any vault, more powerful than any weapon. But like any fortress, it must be defended. Guard your inner walls, examine every thought at the gate. Ask it, does this idea serve my purpose? Does it align with the image I am carving? If not, cast it out before it finds shelter. Imagine standing before a mirror each morning and speaking words of command to yourself. Not idle wishes, but declarations of law. Say, I am the master of my mind. I direct my thoughts towards strength, and strength returns to me. Repeat it with conviction, and you will feel the truth of it settle in your chest like a steady flame. This is how mastery begins, not with grand gestures or sudden miracles, but with quiet, deliberate choices repeated until they become unshakable laws in your character. The man who does this each day becomes immune to the chaos of the world, for he carries within him a compass that never falters. Let us take a practical exercise. Tonight, before you sleep, write down one thought you want to dominate your life. It may be courage, it may be abundance, it may be health, it may be peace. Write it clearly, as if it were already true. Place it by your bedside. In the morning, before the world begins to shout its distractions, read it aloud. Hold it in your mind for a full 5 minutes, seeing yourself as if it were already accomplished. Do this for 30 days, and you will witness a transformation so profound that others will begin to ask, what has changed in you? What has changed is nothing less than the direction of your destiny, steered by the captain of your own thought. The weak will scoff, saying it cannot be that simple. But simplicity is the mark of truth. Complex systems may confuse, but nature itself works by simple laws repeated without fail. The sun rises, the seasons turn, the seed yields after its kind. Likewise, the law of thought is constant. You become what you think about. If you doubt it, observe the bitter man who rehearses wrongs daily. His life shrivels. Observe the hopeful man who repeats visions of tomorrow. His life expands. Nature does not lie, nor does this law. It is impartial, it is absolute, and it is waiting for you to align with it. Write this now, and if you dare, speak it aloud with me. My thoughts are the architects of my destiny. I plant only noble seeds, and I reap only noble fruits. Say it softly if you must, but let it echo in the deepest halls of your mind until it becomes the truth by which you live. For once you engrave this law into your being, you will never again be a victim of circumstance. You will be the master of your fate. There is a hidden war taking place inside every man and woman, and it is the war of attention. Whatever captures your attention will soon capture your life. The enemy knows this, and so the world is full of distractions designed to steal your focus. Advertisements, idle chatter, meaningless entertainments, all these compete for the throne of your mind, yet mastery requires vigilance. If you do not decide what to think about, something else will decide for you. And once you surrender your attention, you surrender your future. This is why the wise guard their minds with the same seriousness a general guards a fortress, for they know that one breach is enough to bring down an empire. The great tragedy of our age is not ignorance, but distraction. A man may have access to more knowledge than kings once dreamed of, yet if his mind is scattered, he will accomplish nothing. Imagine trying to start a fire by moving a match from one pile of wood to another every second. The flame never takes hold. Such is the life of the distracted man. He begins 100 things and finishes none. His thoughts are scattered like leaves in the wind. But the disciplined man chooses one idea, one vision, and holds it steady in his mind until it ignites. That single flame grows into a fire that can warm, light, and change the world. Consider the archer. His target is small, his environment full of noise, but his entire being is focused upon the bullseye. He steadies his hand, clears his sight, and lets the arrow fly. In that moment, nothing exists but the target. This is how thoughts must be mastered. The mind that can hold one idea with the clarity of an archer's aim is a mind that commands reality. The scattered man misses every mark. The focused man never fails to strike. The law is simple. Where attention goes, energy flows. Repeat this to yourself now. Write it if you can, let it engrave itself. Where attention goes, energy flows. Look at the lives of the great achievers, and you will find not men of extraordinary talent, but men of extraordinary focus. They decided early what their purpose was, and they refused to be diverted. Napoleon focused on conquest. Beethoven focused on music. Lincoln focused on preserving the Union. Each man had weaknesses, flaws, and difficulties, but their concentration on one idea made them immortal. The lesson is clear. You do not need to master 1,000 things. You need to master one thought, one vision, one cause, and let it guide you every day. The undisciplined man often complains of bad luck. He says opportunity never comes. Success is unfair, life is cruel. Yet when opportunity knocked, his attention was elsewhere. He was distracted, chasing shadows, entertaining doubts. The truth is, opportunities come to every man, but only those who are focused recognize and seize them. The distracted man waits for luck. The focused man creates it. The distracted man drifts like a feather on the wind. The focused man steers like a captain on the sea. Ask yourself now, am I building my destiny or am I handing my life to distractions? The exercise is simple but powerful. Choose one central thought for your life. Write it down in a single clear sentence. It may be I build wealth, or I serve others with excellence, or I live in health and peace. Whatever it is, it must be your guiding star. Place this sentence where you see it every day, on your desk, on your mirror, in your wallet. Every time your mind begins to wander, return to that sentence. Say it aloud. Repeat it until it becomes as familiar as your own name. In this way, you train your mind to stay upon the target, just as the archer refuses to look away from the bullseye. The weak will laugh and say it cannot be that easy. But look at their lives. Are they not scattered, incomplete, restless? Do they not drift from one pursuit to another, never satisfied, never accomplished? Meanwhile, the man who holds one clear thought builds monuments that last generations. The world respects the man of focus, for he is rare. While others scatter their strength, he channels his like a river, and rivers carve valleys, power cities, and shape civilizations. The man of focus is unstoppable, for he has mastered the direction of his mind. Now let us seal this law with affirmation. Say it with me, not as a wish, but as a decree. My attention is my power. I direct it with purpose, and my life obeys my command. Speak it until it vibrates in your chest. Write it until your hand remembers it. Live it until the world reflects it. For once you know this truth, that attention is destiny, you will never again waste your mind on trifles. You will hold the target steady, release the arrow, and strike the mark every single day. Every man carries within himself a hidden compass, a quiet voice that points toward his highest calling. But most never learn to read it, because their minds are clouded with noise. The compass is thought, steady and precise, yet if the needle is shaken by doubt, fear, or indecision, it spins aimlessly, and the man is lost. To master your thoughts is to steady the needle, to clear away the interference, and to allow your inner direction to guide you. Without this mastery, life becomes wandering. Busy perhaps, but purposeless. With it, every step is deliberate, and even hardship is endured with meaning, because the path is clear. We must understand that life does not bend to the man who wishes vaguely, but to the man who thinks clearly. A vague thought produces vague results. A clear thought produces clear results. A man says, I want success, but he never defines what success means. His mind, left without direction, delivers confusion. Another says, I will double my income this year by serving others with greater skill. That thought, clear and specific, directs his actions, attracts resources, and in time manifests itself. The law does not honor fog, it honors clarity. The sharper your thought, the sharper your results. The mind can be likened to a lens. If scattered, the rays of the sun warm but do not ignite, but when concentrated through a magnifying glass, those same rays can start a fire. Your thoughts are no different. Scatter them and they produce nothing more than a little warmth. Focus them and they have the power to set your whole world aflame with achievement. This is why it is not enough to think about many good things. You must think intently about the one thing that matters most. Your mind, sharpened and disciplined, becomes a flame that no obstacle can resist. Clarity of thought is not a gift. It is a practice. Each day you must take the time to write down exactly what you want, exactly what you intend, exactly what you believe. The fog lifts when the pen is in your hand. What was vague in the mind becomes precise on paper. And once it is on paper, it takes on a new life, a sense of reality, a direction. The man who writes his thoughts daily is training the compass of his mind. He no longer drifts, he sails with purpose. This is why I urge you, do not leave your thoughts to chance. Define them, refine them, and command them. Consider the difference between a traveler with a map and one without. The one without a map wanders endlessly, asking for directions, second-guessing every turn. The one with a map moves with confidence, even if the journey is long. Your thoughts are your map. Without them you stumble. With them you stride. Life will always present detours, storms, and delays. But the man with a mental map does not despair. He adjusts and continues. This is the strength of a clear thought. It carries you through the unpredictable with steady resolve. Let us not mistake clarity for complexity. The greatest thoughts are simple. Love, service, faith, abundance, discipline. These are not intricate philosophies, but timeless truths. When you anchor your mind to such thoughts, your life finds direction. It is only when you complicate your thinking with endless doubt, overanalysis, and second-guessing that you lose your way. The man who keeps his thoughts simple and strong is like a sailor who follows the North Star. He does not need to know every current or wind, for his direction is fixed. So it is with you. Fix your mind on one great idea and let it guide you. But clarity alone is not enough. It must be joined with repetition. A single clear thought declared once is like a spark. Declare it daily and it becomes a flame. Declare it with conviction, and it becomes a fire that shapes your destiny. This is why rituals matter. Each morning, repeat to yourself the law you are living by. Each evening, remind yourself of the direction you have chosen. In this way, your mind is trained to return again and again to the compass, no matter how the winds of circumstance may blow. Now, I ask you to perform a simple act. Write on your paper these words: I think clearly, I choose my direction, and my life follows my command. Say it aloud, not as a wish, but as a declaration. Feel the power of it as it steadies your inner compass. Do not let this be mere exercise. Let it be the law by which you live. For once you have clarity of thought, you cannot be deceived, you cannot be swayed, and you cannot be defeated. You will walk with the certainty of one who knows where he is going, and life itself will yield to that certainty. There is a law as old as time itself, a law whispered by sages, confirmed by science, and proven by every life you see around you. Thought precedes reality. Everything that comes into being is first born in the unseen workshop of the mind. To deny this is to deny the very evidence of existence. The buildings of our cities, the music of our concert halls, the wealth of great fortunes, all began as invisible images held in thought. And if this is true on the scale of nations and civilizations, it is true for you. Your life today is the sum of your yesterday's thinking. Your life tomorrow will be shaped by what you allow your mind to dwell upon today. This is both the most sobering and the most empowering realization a man can discover. Do not take this lightly. If you carry in your thoughts anger, bitterness, and fear, then those emotions will leak into your words, your actions, and your relationships until your world mirrors that inner poison. If you instead cultivate thoughts of courage, gratitude, and abundance, then these qualities will shine through your speech, your work, and your decisions until your world reshapes itself around them. This is not mystical, it is practical. As water takes the shape of its vessel, so does your environment take the shape of your thinking. The law is constant, impartial, and inescapable. If you will not master it, it will master you. The difficulty lies in the fact that most men believe they are thinking when they are merely reacting. They imagine they are forming ideas, but they are only echoing the fears and opinions of others. They mistake the noise of the crowd for the voice of their own mind. This is why solitude is so important. A man must withdraw each day, if only for a few minutes, to hear the sound of his own thoughts. He must examine them, test them, and decide whether they are worthy to be planted. Without this discipline, his mind becomes a dumping ground for the refuse of the world, and his life reflects that clutter. Let us take an image. Think of a great library. Within it are shelves upon shelves of books, some filled with wisdom, others with lies. Each book represents a possible thought. You are the librarian, and it is your responsibility to choose which books remain open upon your desk. If you leave the doors unlocked, anyone may wander in and scatter nonsense across your table. But if you close the doors, guard them with vigilance, and select carefully, you will spend your days studying truths that build your strength. Your mind is this library, and you must decide what volumes are read daily. For what is read becomes what is lived. The question then is not whether thoughts shape reality. They do. The question is whether you are choosing those thoughts consciously or passively. The man who abdicates this responsibility becomes a slave to accident, circumstance, and other people's agendas. The man who accepts it becomes the author of his own life. Which are you, author or victim, creator or passenger? The difference lies not in talent or luck, but in the mastery of thought. For talent without focus is wasted, and luck without preparation is squandered. Only the man who governs his mind can govern his destiny. Here lies the great opportunity. You can begin this mastery at any moment. No one can forbid you from thinking noble thoughts. No one can prevent you from repeating to yourself words of courage and abundance. You may be poor in wealth, but you can be rich in mind. And that richness, if cultivated daily, will in time manifest itself in tangible ways. A man who carries prosperity in thought cannot help but attract it in reality, just as a magnet cannot help but draw iron to itself. The inner always becomes the outer. It is the first law of creation. Now let us test this in practice. Take a moment to write upon your paper this phrase: I think only of that which builds, and therefore my life is built strong. Place this paper where your eyes fall upon it daily. Say it aloud each morning and each night. Do not whisper it as a timid hope, but declare it as a certainty. Over time, you will notice subtle shifts. Your decisions will sharpen, your confidence will rise, your relationships will strengthen. These are the early fruits of thought mastery. Continue long enough and the harvest will astonish you. Skeptics will object, saying, if thought shapes reality, why do so many who think positively still struggle? The answer is simple. Their thinking is not yet dominant. A single hopeful thought cannot uproot 1,000 weeds of doubt. Just as a single day of planting does not yield a harvest, so a single day of right thinking does not transform a life. Mastery requires persistence, daily cultivation, and repeated reinforcement. In time, the dominant thought prevails, and when it does, reality bows to it. Do not judge the power of thought by a day's effort. Judge it by the law of seasons. Plant faithfully, and the harvest is inevitable. So let us anchor this truth with affirmation. Say it with me now, and write it until it becomes your second nature. My thoughts create my reality. I choose courage, I choose faith, I choose abundance. Let this not be empty recital, but the law by which you govern yourself. For once you understand and accept that thought precedes reality, you hold in your hand the key to all transformation. And with that key, there is no door in life that remains locked against you. The greatest danger a man faces is not failure, but unconscious living. To drift through days without awareness of his own thoughts is to surrender his life without a fight. Most people live as if their minds are open fields where anything may grow. Rumors, fears, envy, doubt, and then they wonder why the harvest is bitter. Mastery begins with vigilance. It is the constant watch of a sentinel who never leaves his post. Each moment ask, what am I thinking now? Does this serve me? Does it build my life or destroy it? A man who asks these questions daily takes control of the most powerful force in existence. You cannot live beyond the quality of your dominant thoughts. If they are weak, you will be weak. If they are strong, you will be strong. The laws of nature make no exceptions. Just as a seed cannot produce anything but after its kind, so your thoughts cannot produce anything but after their nature. Fear cannot produce courage. Envy cannot produce peace. Doubt cannot produce achievement. Only noble thoughts yield noble results. And so the command is clear. Select carefully. Do not let unworthy seeds lie in the soil of your mind. Pull them out by the root and replace them with thoughts of faith, strength, and abundance. Think of the craftsman at his bench. Before him lie tools of every shape. In unskilled hands, they produce mistakes. In skilled hands, they create beauty. Your thoughts are the tools. With them, you may build a life of dignity or a life of regret. The tools themselves are neutral. It is the craftsman's discipline that matters. If you find your life lacking, examine your workshop. Which tools are you picking up each day? Which thoughts are you repeating? The man who masters his craft does not blame the tools. He learns to use them with precision. So it must be with your mind. Consider this. Every great accomplishment you admire in others was built upon the foundation of invisible thought. The bridge, the symphony, the empire, all began as a whisper in the mind. You may see only the finished structure, but behind it was long years of holding the thought steady, refusing to let it die. That is why weak men who change their thoughts as often as the wind changes direction never build anything lasting. They scatter their power. The strong man selects a thought worthy of his life and clings to it until the vision becomes stone and steel. This is the discipline that separates greatness from mediocrity. You may ask, how do I know which thoughts to choose? The answer is simple. Choose the ones that lift, the ones that serve, the ones that align with the highest version of yourself. If a thought makes you smaller, discard it. If it makes you resentful, cast it out. If it fills you with energy, clarity, and resolve, hold it fast. This is not guesswork. Your heart knows the difference. Pay attention to the feeling that follows a thought. It is the compass by which you may judge whether you are walking toward light or toward shadow. But knowledge is nothing without action, so I urge you now to practice. Tonight, write one unworthy thought you often entertain. Look at it on the page, then cross it out boldly. In its place, write the noble opposite. If you often think, I am not enough, cross it out and write, I am equipped, I am capable, I am strong. Then repeat the new thought aloud until it begins to take root. This is how a man cleans his workshop, how he weeds his field, how he claims mastery one thought at a time. Do not underestimate the resistance you will face. The weeds will return, the old habits will knock, the voices of doubt will whisper, but this is the test of mastery. The man who persists will discover that over time the weeds weaken, the habits dissolve, the whispers fade. His mind becomes clear ground where only what he chooses may grow. This clarity gives him an authority that others feel but cannot explain. He becomes calm in crisis, steady under pressure, unshaken by storms, for he knows that nothing can penetrate the fortress of a mastered mind. Let us anchor this lesson with a declaration. Write it down, speak it aloud, and let it echo within you. I choose my thoughts with discipline, and my life obeys their direction. Repeat it each morning as if issuing orders to the captain of your ship. Repeat it each night as if sealing your mind before rest. This is the practice that transforms drifting souls into masters of destiny. And once you know this discipline, you can no longer be defeated, for you command the source from which all victories flow. The world has always belonged to those who discipline their minds, while those who refuse are carried along like debris in a river. Look around you and notice how quickly people surrender their mental power. A headline controls their mood. A rumor controls their opinion. A setback controls their belief in themselves. This is slavery of the most dangerous kind, for it is slavery of the mind. But the man who trains his thoughts stands free. He may live in the same world of noise, but he hears a different music. He selects his thoughts with care as a jeweler selects gems, and he arranges them into a crown that cannot be taken from him. Freedom, you see, is not the absence of chains on the body, but the presence of mastery in the mind. History records men who sat in prison cells yet lived in peace because their thoughts were free. It also records kings who sat upon thrones yet lived in torment because their minds were enslaved by fear and suspicion. The true measure of liberty is not how far your feet can wander, but how firm your thoughts can stand. If you allow the world to dictate what you think, then your crown is already stolen. But if you choose daily what to dwell upon, then no prison, no enemy, no misfortune can rob you of your sovereignty. Let us use the image of the pilot and the storm. The storm is loud, violent, full of danger. The plane shakes, the winds scream, passengers panic. But the pilot does not surrender his controls to the storm. He grips the instruments with calm precision, keeping his eyes upon his gauges. Though the storm rages, his focus holds the aircraft steady until it passes. Your life will face storms. Doubt will scream, fear will shake, circumstances will thunder. But if you hold your thoughts steady, if you refuse to surrender the controls, you will pass through safely. The storm will exhaust itself, but your mastery will endure. There is no greater advantage in life than calm command of the mind. Employers seek it, friends trust it, nations rise behind it. People are drawn to the man who thinks clearly under pressure because such a man is rare. Most lose themselves when challenges come. Their thoughts scatter, their words betray them, their actions collapse. But the man of disciplined thought becomes like a lighthouse in darkness, steady and sure. Others may not understand his strength, but they feel it, and they are guided by it. That is why mastering your thoughts is not only for your own sake, but for all those who depend on you. The weak will say, "I cannot control my thoughts. They are too many, too fast, too strong." But this is a lie told by laziness. The truth is that thoughts are servants, not masters. They may rush like wild horses, but with training they obey. The rider who drops the reins is carried wherever the horse chooses. The rider who takes hold directs the course. Your mind may resist in the beginning, but every act of discipline weakens its rebellion. Every repetition strengthens your control. In time, the wild horses become a loyal team, carrying you wherever you command. Now let us be practical. Begin tomorrow by taking 10 minutes of silence before the day begins. Sit with a piece of paper and write one sentence that defines your direction for the day. It may be, "Today I think abundance," or "Today I act with courage," or "Today I hold peace." Keep this sentence with you, and whenever your thoughts begin to wander, return to it. This is how you train the horses, how you grip the controls, how you hold the crown. 10 minutes each morning is the difference between drifting through the day and ruling it. And do not think mastery means never feeling fear or doubt. Those feelings will come. Mastery means refusing to let them dictate the course of your life. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the command of thought in the presence of fear. Success is not the absence of obstacles, it is the command of thought in the midst of obstacles. Peace is not the absence of noise, it is the command of thought amid the noise. This is why mastery is so powerful. It does not depend on the world being calm, it depends on you being calm. So I leave you with this law to engrave in your mind and upon your paper: my mind is my kingdom. I rule it with calm authority, and no storm can overturn my throne. Speak it until you believe it until you live it until others can feel it, for when you master your thoughts in this way, you become untouchable. The storms pass, the chains break, the noise fades, but your crown remains. Every day presents a test, though most never recognize it. The test is simple. Will you think your own thoughts, or will you borrow the thoughts of others? Society, with its endless voices, urges you to conform, to adopt ready-made opinions, to echo the slogans of the hour. But the man who does so loses his identity. He becomes a shadow, repeating the noise of the crowd without ever discovering his own music. Mastery of thought demands courage, the courage to think for yourself, to stand alone if necessary, to hold to your vision even when it is mocked or doubted. Without this courage, you cannot be free. For the crowd does not build destinies, it buries them. The danger of borrowed thoughts is that they often appear harmless. A friend's complaint slips into your mind. A commentator's opinion takes root. A family member's fear lingers in your memory. Slowly, almost without notice, your own thinking is replaced. Your actions follow. Your results follow. And before long, you are living a life that is not your own. You may have their fears, their doubts, their limitations, but you have none of their dreams. This is why you must guard your originality with the same vigilance a king guards his crown. Let others live by imitation, you must live by creation. Consider the oak tree. It does not try to become a pine, nor does it envy the willow. It grows into the fullness of what it was meant to be, strong-rooted, unshaken. So must you. Your thoughts are the roots of your life. If you allow them to be shallow, borrowed, or weak, then when storms come, you will topple. But if you send them deep into the soil of your own conviction, no wind can uproot you. Individuality of thought is not rebellion for its own sake. It is the fulfillment of your true design. A man who thinks his own thoughts is like an oak. He may stand alone, but he stands strong. History shows us that progress always begins with individuals who dared to think differently. Socrates questioned, Galileo observed, Lincoln declared, Edison imagined. Each faced ridicule. Each stood against the prevailing thought of his time, but each held fast to his vision until the world caught up. The lesson is not that you must oppose for the sake of opposition, but that you must be willing to trust your own thought even when others do not. For the crowd is often wrong, and the future belongs to those who dare to think ahead of it. To practice this mastery, you must learn to pause before adopting any idea. When a suggestion enters your mind, ask yourself, does this serve my vision, or does it weaken it? Is this born of courage or of fear? Is this a seed I planted, or a weed blown in by the wind? This pause is the mark of a free thinker. Most men rush to agree, rush to echo, rush to conform. The master pauses, examines, and decides. In this pause lies the difference between living as an echo and living as a voice. Another exercise is to write your core beliefs clearly, in your own words, and return to them often. They are your anchor in the storm of borrowed opinions. If you believe in growth, in abundance, in service, then when fear or doubt presents itself, you can measure it against your anchor. If it does not align, you reject it. This practice builds strength, just as muscles are built by resistance. Each time you resist the pull of borrowed thought, your own grows stronger. In time, you become unshakable, confident, and unmistakably yourself. But make no mistake, individuality of thought will cost you. The crowd may call you strange, arrogant, or misguided. They may laugh at you, exclude you, or resist you. Yet this cost is small compared to the reward. For in guarding your own mind, you preserve your future. In thinking for yourself, you claim the authority to shape your destiny. And those who once laughed will one day marvel at the results of your conviction. The oak does not seek the approval of the forest. It simply grows, and its strength commands respect. Anchor this lesson now with a declaration. Write it, speak it, let it echo within you. I think my own thoughts, I trust my vision, and I refuse to be ruled by the crowd. Let this be your shield against conformity, your compass in confusion, your crown in the midst of noise. For once you have claimed the power of your own thought, you can never again be enslaved by another's. You become sovereign, original, unshaken, and from such mastery flows a life that is not borrowed but built, not imitated but created. Most people imagine that destiny is decided by events, when in truth it is decided by preparation of thought long before the events arrive. Calamity strikes, and one man crumbles while another rises. Opportunity appears, and one man hesitates while another seizes it. The difference is not the event, but the pattern of thinking each has rehearsed. Thought is rehearsal for life. The man who daily trains his mind in courage responds with courage. The man who daily feeds on doubt responds with hesitation. When the hour comes, you do not rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your thoughts. This is why mastery cannot be postponed. The test will come, and when it does, you will act out the truth you have been thinking all along. Think of the soldier drilled daily in discipline. Long before the battle, he has repeated the same motions until they are second nature. When the moment of chaos comes, he does not stop to wonder what to do. He acts as he is trained. Your thoughts are the drill. Every day you repeat them, whether noble or destructive, and they prepare you for the battles of life. If your drills are fear, hesitation, and self-pity, then you will collapse when tested. But if your drills are courage, clarity, and determination, then you will hold firm under pressure. Life does not reward the untrained mind. It rewards the man whose drills have prepared him for the fire. Consider the builder of a great tower. He lays stone upon stone, each small, each seeming insignificant. To the casual observer, nothing remarkable is happening. Yet one day the tower stands tall, unshakable, admired by all. So it is with thought. Each choice, each repetition, each affirmation is a stone. Alone it seems small. Together, over time, they form the structure of your destiny. The careless man, laying stones at random, builds a crooked house that cannot stand. The wise man, laying them with intention, builds a fortress. Every thought is a stone. The question is whether you are building a palace or a ruin. The law is impartial. It will not excuse you for ignorance, nor will it reward you for excuses. If you plant weakness, you will reap weakness. If you plant strength, you will reap strength. Some wait for inspiration before they discipline their minds, but inspiration is a poor master. Discipline is the true builder. Daily practice, not fleeting mood, shapes destiny. Just as a field will yield only what is cultivated, your life will yield only what you have cultivated in thought. The man who understands this stops hoping for luck and begins planting with intention. And yet the mind resists this discipline. It prefers ease, it drifts, it whispers, "Tomorrow I will think better thoughts." But tomorrow is too late. The harvest of today is planted now. If you neglect the field, the weeds do not wait. They spring up with vigor, and every day you allow your mind to drift. The weeds of doubt, fear, and bitterness grow stronger. Mastery demands vigilance, persistence, and above all, immediacy. The time to direct your thoughts is not tomorrow, not next week, but this very moment. So let us make the practice plain. Choose one quality you wish to embody in the face of life's tests, perhaps courage, perseverance, or faith. Each morning, write it down. Each day, repeat it aloud. Each evening, measure yourself against it. In this way, you train as the soldier drills, as the builder lays stones. Slowly, steadily, invisibly at first, you ingrain the quality into your very nature. Then, when the trial comes, you will not scramble for courage, for it will already be yours. You will not search for perseverance, for it will already be your habit. You will not pray for faith in desperation, for faith will already live within you. The reward of this discipline is not only readiness for hardship, but readiness for opportunity. Many men miss success not because they lacked the chance, but because they lacked the prepared mind to seize it. The door opened, but they stood frozen in doubt. The prize lay before them, but they hesitated. The man who trains his thoughts daily walks into opportunity as naturally as the soldier marches into battle. To him, victory is not a surprise, but an expectation. His thoughts have rehearsed it so thoroughly that when it arrives, he simply claims it as his own. Seal this lesson now with a declaration. Write it down, repeat it, and let it become your daily drill. My thoughts are my training. I rehearse courage. I rehearse faith. I rehearse victory. When the day of trial comes, I will act as I have trained, and nothing can shake me. Say it until it becomes your nature. Live it until it becomes your destiny. For once you grasp that thought as rehearsal for life, you will no longer fear the tests ahead. You will welcome them knowing you are already prepared. The final mastery of thought is not merely to control what you think, but to align it with a vision so powerful that it shapes every fiber of your being. A man without vision may discipline his mind, but he has no destination. He becomes like a captain steering his ship with skill but without a port in sight. Mastery demands both control and direction. You must know not only how to think, but also where your thinking is taking you. Without this, all discipline is wasted. With it, every thought becomes a step toward a destiny that calls you higher. Vision is the picture of your future held so clearly in your mind that it commands your present. It is not idle fantasy, for fantasy fades when difficulties arise. True vision survives the storm. It is a thought so deeply rooted that no opposition can uproot it. Consider the mountain climber. Each step is grueling, the air is thin, the path is treacherous, yet he presses on because the vision of the summit burns in his mind. Without that vision, he would surrender to fatigue. With it, he endures. Your life is the same. Vision is the summit you must see in your mind before your feet ever touch the mountain. But vision alone is not enough. It must be joined with conviction. A weak vision, doubted in secret, produces nothing. A strong vision, affirmed daily, bends the circumstances of life in its direction. This is why affirmation is so vital. Words repeated with faith engrave vision into the subconscious until it directs every action without effort. The farmer who plants a seed does not dig it up each day to see if it grows. He waters it, believes in it, and waits. So must you. Plant your vision in thought, water it with repetition, and let time bring the harvest. Think of the builder of cathedrals in centuries past. He began construction knowing he would never see the finished spires, yet he worked faithfully stone by stone because the vision lived in his mind. Others mocked, saying it would take too long, cost too much, but he held to the image of glory, and generations later the cathedral stood as proof. Such is the power of vision. It outlives doubt, outlasts opposition, and endures beyond the life of its holder. What cathedral are you building with your thoughts today? Will it be a ruin or a monument? The answer lies in the clarity and strength of your vision. Now let us anchor this principle with practice. Take a sheet of paper and write one vision for your life. State it as if it were already real. Write it not in the language of hope, but of certainty. For example, I live in abundance, I serve with excellence, I walk in peace. Place this paper where you see it each morning. Speak it aloud with conviction. This is not wishful thinking, it is training. Each repetition engraves the vision deeper, until it becomes the guiding force of your existence. Do not be discouraged if the world does not confirm your vision at once. The world is always slow to accept what the mind has already claimed. People may laugh, circumstances may resist, but hold fast. Remember, the summit is not seen from the foothill, but the climber knows it is there. The cathedral is not admired until it stands, but the builder knows its design. Your vision is no different. Patience is not weakness, it is strength under control, the mark of a man who knows that his thoughts have already written his future. When doubts arise, and they will, you must answer them immediately with your declaration. If a thought whispers, "It is impossible," reply, "I have already achieved it in thought, and my life is catching up." If a thought says, "You are not worthy," reply, "I am created with purpose, and my vision is worthy of me." This is how the mind is defended. Not by passivity, but by active affirmation, repeated until the doubting voice is silenced. Anchor this lesson now with a final law, the crown of all we have spoken. Write it, speak it, and let it echo until it becomes the anthem of your life. I see my vision clearly. I think it daily. I live it fully, and nothing can deny me. Say it until it moves from your lips to your heart to your habits, from your habits to your destiny. For when your thoughts are disciplined and your vision is fixed, the world itself must bow to the command of your mind.